All right.
So what's going on here?
So this is the funk composition. The particular drum grooves and bass grooves for, and a couple of pad sounds.
And you've got it playing through the actual hardware we're going to be using?
It's playing through the actual hardware we're going to be using.
And what does that sound like?
Sounds like this. It should.
So you've added some elements to this, besides what I've sent to the Children's Museum crew. There we go. So what are those?
So that's the pad sound. Basically right now we're just testing to make sure that the VMachine, which is the hardware set that we're going to use right over there, can handle everything that we're going to throw at it. Right now we have three synthesizer plugins going on right now. 2 Synth 1 analog synthesizer plugins, and 1 SFZ Plus sampler. The sampler is handling all of the drum sounds and the pad sound, and the 2 synthesizers are handling the melody sound that you hear and the bass sound and the bass line.
Sounds great.
You can see that it can get pretty busy. The panel, the panel is now going to be controlling the VMachine. Actually, the Arduino is controlling the VMachine, the panel is controlling the Arduino. Before we were using ACID to send this MIDI sequence out from the PC, but this time we're going to use the Arduino sequencer, no PC required.
Which is what's going to be in the final version.
Yeah, so we're going to try this from power up mode. It's going to perform its fun little still have to work this out. Why it does that.
Alright, so what are we hearing?
What we're hearing is the melody, which is basically just a placeholder for the melody that's going to be generated on the lever panel. We're hearing bass and drums. The red buttons are the drum tracks, the blue buttons are the bass tracks. We're hearing pattern number 1.
Let me see what I can do here. Can I play with it?
Yes, you can.
So you notice the buttons flash kind of indicate the sound that's being produced.
Yes, indeed. I also really particularly like the fade out when you choose one button.
It's the retro analog mode.
Yes, you go from one button to the next.
And one of the cool things you can do is you can be running one beat and kind of just take snips of another beat by just momentarily pressing a different button.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. That's the idea. Because the goal is basically to create patterns, rhythm patterns and bass patterns that basically work with each other. But you can still get more complex bass patterns and rhythm patterns if you want to by switching from one pattern to the next during the course of the sequence.
I think it's pretty clear we're on the path to creating this great musical playground that still lets you make great music. Kids make great sounding music, but be able to explore.
That's right.
Which was the goal, kind of.
Yep.
Allow kids to have this epiphany that music is cool and they can make good stuff.
Absolutely. Let's get the good groove going.
And what's left to add here? We're missing the effects panel
We're missing the effects panel and the lever
panel. The lever panel will control the melody. The effects panel you'll be able to add musical pad sounds to it. I guess we already got one of those earlier.
Right.
We can add some of the pad sounds that we heard earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm getting excited about it. How about you?
I'm very excited about it. Yes, indeed.
All right, looking forward to getting this on the floor and what is turning out to be a world-class children's museum. Got a high bar, and hopefully we can live up to it.
All right.